Hello, this is Baldo Spirito, and in this video I will talk about South Africa for multiplayer. I'm assuming like the rules are going to be historical as usual, and like Danzig is going to be historical. So the in historical games, like the role of South Africa is mainly to help defend LLMA. If you haven't done so already, I would recommend you watch Kane's video on how to defend element, which I will link in the description. He talks about how to defend it, like in general for the entire faction. And in this video, I will focus on the South Africa build. Now, let's first check our country and see like what our weaknesses and strengths are. We have low manpower, first of all. There are ways to remove the manpower, like in the manpower malices in the focus tree, but it is like mutually exclusive with this side. So I don't really like going for the extra manpower. I mean, the consumer goods factories here is pretty good, like -5%. You also get some factory output. I don't think you should go for the manpower route. So what we want to do is build quality stuff since we don't have good manpower. And the second thing is we have a lot of chromium. So tanks, heavy tanks might be something to consider. And let's also check our military high command. We do have an armor guide. So again, tanks are looking good. Army regrouping is useful. It's not bad. Like it's a good guide. And as chief of army, we unfortunately don't have army attack. But now if you go light tanks, army maneuver can be okay. And if the army defense can be okay for potential like superior firepower heavy tanks, like for like static defending on LMA. So basically, I think we have two choices here. We either go light tanks. And like take the army maneuver guy and go offensive, or we go like a superior firepower defensive heavy tank build. Now if you go for the heavy tank build, you do have some issue on your focus tree that this armor effort requires 5 focuses, and like none of these focuses are really that good. Like you don't have any industry or I mean, you have one land doctrine which is okay but not that good. These are like not really good either. I mean, so this side of the focus tree is a bit underwhelming, which I would say is the main reason a lot of people prefer the light tank build. But I mean, you could go heavy tanks if you want to do something different as well. Now in this video, I think I will make the light tank build, and I'm gonna use mobile warfare for that. For a static defense heavy tank build, I might do like later in another video, or maybe I'm gonna do it in another country like Canada. I'm gonna think about it. I mean, Canada can be air control, but it can also be like tank Canada. Maybe heavy tank Canada might be appropriate. I have to check. If not, I might make another South Africa video later on with the heavy tank build. But anyway, for this video, let's focus on the light tank build. Now, what I want in like ideally is to have like a 40 with division. I guess I would have like motorized here after I take it. Like instead of cavalry, we're gonna have motorized, so you know, something like maybe 7 of these. I'm gonna have probably 4 SPGs. That's gonna be 12. So that's like 36. So 2 more tanks. Yeah, this will basically be the template. The motorized 7 light tanks and 4 light SPGs. I think is a good template. So we need like 420 light tanks for 1 division, and ideally we should have at least 2 divisions like by Danzig time, hopefully. So we need like 840 light tanks at least. Okay, one weakness we have with South Africa is we don't start with like a good training division. The largest one we have is with 6 battalions. So I probably want to actually get military tourists really quickly so that I can start snowballing the army experience from training. This is let's make this a district. You know, the biggest thing. Let's delete this and start training. Okay, in terms of focuses. Now I want to go for the tech slot very quickly because 2 tech slots is pretty horrible. So the tech slot is what I'm gonna go for first. And we also have good industry bonuses here. So this 3 is the first one you're gonna take. Now these infrastructures are random, unfortunately, which I don't really like. And sometimes you get unlucky and get infra in this wasteland, which is pretty unfortunate. Let's see where we have in Natal and Cape in this one. Cape is here. Natal is. Oh, we actually got pretty lucky with the infra. That this is basically the best you can get. I got very lucky with the infra. So you know the first one is actually on the one with the highest score, so that's pretty good. Alright, now we're gonna go mobile warfare because we are going offensive light tanks and fast light tanks with the army maneuver guide. So let's start taking that immediately. Actually, let's cheese the third day as well. What else? I think we are mostly done. Let me make a small comment on the heavy tank stuff. Now, I'm not going to go heavy tanks in this run, but if you're considering heavy tanks, do not build this 34 heavy tank. This is complete crap. You'll probably need to do some SPG TD stuff until you get this heavy tank. I mean, you may even want to try make a mix of light tanks and like heavy SPG, heavy TD, and then transition the light tanks into heavies or something. I'm going to think about that later when I'm doing the heavy tank build, either with Canada or South Africa. We'll see. Anyway, now what we want to do here is to take this, of course, as soon as possible. But before I take that, I want to be able to take the tank designer. So essentially, I think I go silent workhorse, military theorist, and tank designer. Yeah, that seems like a good way to start. Now I'm going to 30-day cheese at every point for the land doctrine because I want to be as far as possible in the mobile warfare tree. Okay, we're going to build up our training template as we get more army experience. Well, there isn't much to do now. But we just have to wait until something happens. Okay, let's go for this one. This one is pretty terrible. I mean, it's just like take bonus for industry. Probably I won't get it later either because like you don't need it for infra effort, you only need one of these. So I'm just gonna skip this. Yeah, once we have the 5 army experience, we're gonna add units to the training template. I should actually probably like duplicate. Now I don't really plan to build any actual infantry, but I might still like make a 20 with just in case. You should, by the way, ask your allies to garrison your ports because we wanna focus only on tanks. Okay, could potentially go for construction here, I think. I mean, I would like to take this as well, but like when you have only 2 slots, I think it's a bit too much of a luxury at this point in the game. Okay, I take silent workhorse and continue with this. I'll take the army XP guy next. Now, if you start with large templates, you don't really need to rush the military tourist like this early. It might be better to like go to free trade first, or maybe take some other stuff, like depending on the country. But here I'm getting like really low amount of XP from exercises because I started with like a really small template, and the army tourist is gonna help this snowball like much faster if we take it early. So the infra actually switched to Transvaal. That's not too bad either, at least we didn't get it in the goddamn wasteland. The steel isn't too important, I'll just take the mill factories. Unlike New Zealand, we actually need the mill factories like as soon as possible here. Yeah, I think take this next, or we can take this one. This is a good focus as well, but I think I want the text slot first. Can go for this because I might need the extra slots, like not too late. Yeah, I mean, it will be nice to get the extra slots to fill in Transvaal. I mean, we won't need it that quickly, to be honest. Now, next I want to take the tank designer, and I want to start taking the light tanks. At this point, I think I'm going to take light tanks after machine tools is done. I want to take motorized as well, as early as possible. Although I might wait for this focus, I'm not sure, like that would help us take it like much faster. But I think going to consumer factories might just be better. I mean, we need like 2 focuses to just for like wasting 2 focuses just to take it faster, probably not worth it. Let me duplicate this for a 20th division, which I don't plan to build, but you know, why not? Maybe there will be a situation in which you might want to build it. Start the light tanks. I really want to get enough army XP to upgrade my light SPG. That's extremely important. You don't really need XP for the light tanks, like the normal light tanks, because you cannot upgrade breakthrough on tanks, and that is basically like the most important stat on a tank. But on light SPG we can upgrade the soft attack, and we really want to upgrade the soft attack. We probably won't need a lot of inf equip. We probably won't need a lot of support equip either, to be honest, so this is why I started the light tanks like pretty early. I really want to switch to building light tanks. Okay, let's go the tech slot finally. I think I'll build one more sieve here before I start mills. I really should finish concentrated industry before the bolt of design, which is gonna be like, I guess, somewhere early 38, like really early 38 probably. Okay, now we do have a choice here between going early mobilization and free trade. This usually depends on like what rule set and like who the Axis players are. Like we have played with them before. When will they give you a partial? Basically, I mean, if you think you're gonna get the partial mob, as in the 15 word tension soon. It's probably better to just go free trade and don't bother with early, like just skip early mob and go partial mob like straight. But if you think it's gonna take a while until partial mob, you can go early mob first and then go free trade. Let's do that here, I guess. Now, what do we go for next year? We could go for this, or we could like start on this route, like to go for here. I think, yeah, this provides a more immediate benefit. Like, I think I'm not gonna go here at all. I'm gonna focus on maximizing my industry. So I think I'll go with this first, and let's save 30 days for land doctrine, and I will also take SPGs. We do have quite a few factories by now, so the minus 5% should give us one additional factory. Okay, now we have the light tanks, so we're going to start producing it. Let's get the SPG. Now, ideally, I would actually cancel all the factories and put everything on light tanks, because I mean, you can get your infantry and support equipment from UK, but the AI is not gonna give us anything, so maybe I'll leave one factory each. But in a multiplayer, if you have like a good UK player you communicate well with, I would just cancel everything and put everything on the light tank. Okay, we start the light tank production. So I think it's a good time to end part 1. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.